Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. I just got back from Meals on Wheels, and guess what I got? Delivering Meals on Wheels. A ticket, an $80 ticket for parking in a red curb. Not even a fire hydrant or nothing like that, just a red curb. And I had a big magnet on it that said Meals on Wheels. So, yeah, $80. I'll just cover up the important information there. There it is, you see it. Isn't that awful? And it says Meals on Wheels on the side of my car. So shame on you, Alameda. The city of Alameda, shame on you. Meals on Wheels, donating my own time, my own money, buying bananas and cookies and gas and just my time alone. So Meals on Wheels is delivering meals to old people and people with cancer. It's just all volunteers doing a good job. So for me to spend $80, not to mention the gas and the other things, shame on you, Alameda. That's what I'm going to title this video. How could you give me a ticket when I'm delivering Meals on Wheels? That is, the magnet's right on the side of my car. So whatever, $80. The city of Alameda, shame on you. Now watch these next couple videos and tell me what is going on. The world's going crazy and they're going after deep pockets. That's right. They won't go after people with no money. They're going after people with deep pockets. So they're coming after you if you make any money. But the people that can park their RVs on the side of the road forever, or even just sleep in their car forever, or even park in the red curb, they've actually parked on the sidewalk and they don't give them tickets. And yeah, the smash and grabs and the sideshows. Watch these next couple news videos and tell me, do I deserve an $80 ticket? No one even follows the laws. I mean, come on, the president just pardoned like 2,000 people. $80. You know how long I gotta work to make that much money? Man, they already take half of that in taxes. And they want the rich to pay their fair share. Why don't you, the people who do the crimes? Yeah. Delivering Meals on Wheels is not a crime. All right. I don't care about money, but boy, do I care about when money goes to people who waste it, like the city of Alameda. Shame on you. You guys waste money all day long, and you go after people donating their time to Meals on Wheels. Yeah. This is just not right. Not right at all. All right. Like I said, watch these next couple videos. The world's going crazy, and shame on you, Alameda. You're going crazy with them. How dare you? I'm just in there delivering a meal, probably on that red curb for less than 5 minutes, maybe even less than that. All right. Well, it was long enough for them to write a ticket. All right. You know the drill. Peace. Love. And all that hippie jazz. Shame on you, Alameda. Shame. Shame. Shame.
The CHP announced its latest crackdown today. Officers seized more than a dozen cars involved in a sideshow that shut down the Bay Bridge last month. Cron 4's Rob Nesbitt reports on the technology that helped track them down.
When it comes to making arrests and towing vehicles involved in sideshows, CHP is able to use license plate readers and cameras to help with their investigations, as was the case with their most recent crackdown. This is the chaos that unfolded on the Bay Bridge during the early morning hours on September 8th. Hundreds of people and cars took part in the sideshow, according to Sergeant Andrew Barclay, and the illegal activity blocked both directions of traffic on the highway.
Not only traffic lanes blocked, but also shoulders blocked, which obviously leads to some very difficult, a very difficult situation for our officers to have to try to work through.
The first sideshow, blocking westbound lanes, was dispersed by police in 25 minutes, and the second on the eastbound lanes took about 16 minutes to stop. After more than a month of investigating, CHP gathered a list of 23 vehicles involved, thanks to flock cameras placed around the Bay Bridge.
Drive away thinking, oh, that was it, it's over, and I got away with it. But fortunately for us, we have technology that we can utilize to identify those vehicles, get those seizure warrants from a judge, and show up at their house towing their car away.
Multiple teams of law enforcement were deployed throughout the state Wednesday, going to the addresses of where vehicles involved were registered to. Seizure warrants were issued and 16 vehicles were towed away.
We were seeing vehicles being seized out of the Central Valley. We had everything from Sacramento down to, the Fresno area. This involved a lot of different CHP offices.
The cars seized are part of Governor Gavin Newsom's announcement this year to increase public safety in the East Bay. Blitz operations by CHP have led to more than 1,100 arrests and the seizure of more than 2,100 stolen vehicles.
Whether it's on a major bridge, whether it's in city streets, we're even seeing tire burnout marks in neighborhoods. So, we're seeing these all over.
The remaining vehicles involved in the sideshow from September 8th are still subject to seizure orders, and the search for them is ongoing. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Rob Nesbitt, KRON 4 News.
The founder of the Bay Area Run Club is recovering from a $30,000 loss. KRON 4's Philippe Jagal reports he was robbed at gunpoint at a park in Oakland.
I don't want to get shot. I don't want to escalate anything. I don't want to die.
Ahead of an event, Jacob Zlobinski asked his younger brother to help him with a video shoot last Thursday to promote an upcoming 5K run for the social group he founded earlier this year called Bay Area Run Club. They met close to midnight at Joaquin Miller Park in Oakland.
And then out of nowhere, two guys walk up from me from behind, and then one pulls out a gun and basically points it at me.
Zlobinski says the two suspects wearing ski masks then stole all of his stuff. Camera and lighting gear, a drone, batteries, and external hard drives totaling at least $30,000 in losses.
They took all the stuff, walked away. I'm not going to chase a guy with a gun. I had to make sure my little brother was okay first.
Both were unharmed. Zlobinski says police phone lines were tied up for hours that night, and his non-emergency calls were not answered. He eventually filed a report with police in person.
I wouldn't necessarily say because it's Oakland I got robbed, but there is an issue with people getting robbed and stuff like that over in the East Bay. And we know that, and it's not something new.
But he says it certainly does get old. Meanwhile, Zlobinski has launched an online fundraiser to help recover from the financial loss.
Car, camera equipment, I got a mortgage, I have company bills to pay. It's just, it was the last thing I really needed at this point, honestly.
No arrests have been announced. Philippe Jagal, KRON 4 News.
In Fremont, a newly opened sneaker store has been broken into and burglarized. The business is called High Limit Sneaker and Apparel. KRON 4's Lindsay Ford talked to one of the owners who shared video of what happened.
You can see behind me plywood now replacing the entrance of High Limit Sneaker and Apparel. Just before 5 Friday morning, burglars slammed a vehicle into the storefront. Surveillance footage shows the thieves rushing through debris and stealing merchandise. Curran Escudero, Philip Mays, and Kelvin Campos, owners of High Limit Sneaker and Apparel, believe damages to the storefront, including merchandise, is between $15,000 to $20,000 or more.
3 guys ended up coming inside. They started taking shoes, taking money, taking inventory from us. They made a mess and holes on the walls, messed up our floor, messed up our doors and everything.
Skid marks from the vehicle that was rammed into the store remain, along with empty shelves, once filled with designer sneakers and clothing, such as Yeezys, Nike, and Supreme.
Everything's going to come out of pocket. This is what I have to talk to me and my partners about and see how much we can scratch up and what we can do to fix up this place and better this place because, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss it, essentially.
The 3 young men had the grand opening for their store 2.5 months ago. They never expected something like this to happen in the community they love.
It took us a lot of money, a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears, how they say, into the shop. And it was a work in progress. It was a dream come true for us since a youngin'. We used to dream about this as kids, as 13-year-olds being sneakerheads that our parents couldn't afford to give us it. So we would have to go out and get it. And we built this, starting up through Instagram all the way up to Facebook Marketplace.
They are now focused on rebuilding and healing.
Definitely what's keeping hope with us is the community and the people that we have around us. Our family, our friends, the community that we built is like so loyal to us, and they're so strong that we see all those impactful messages that we get. We see all the support that we're getting from them. This is just another obstacle to handle, another bump on the road that we're going to achieve and overcome, because I have such a strong team as well, and we're going to get through it.
We've spoken to Fremont police, and they tell me that there are no updates at the moment. The owners of High Limit Sneaker and Apparel have a GoFundMe page if the public chooses to help donate. In Fremont, Lindsay Ford, Cron 4 News.
Sideshows, shootings, and a mob of people ransacking a gas station.
And this all comes as the city is looking to shrink the police force and reduce their budgets. Lynn has the story.
A mob ransacking a gas station, a car catching fire, a sideshow spectator getting hit and flying into the air. Many residents say nothing to see here, just another weekend in Oakland. Not surprised at all.
No, it happens all the time. You hear gunshots. This is every weekend. Every single weekend. They do donuts out here. They fight.
Deborah Harper says it's become lawless and dangerous. She carries a can of mace just to smoke a cigarette outside of her uptown apartment.
For safety, and I've had to use it once.
She's learned to sleep through sideshows outside of her unit since it happens so often. The sideshow that happened near her, San Pablo Avenue and 17th Street, on Sunday morning didn't even wake her up. She says, nope, not surprised that someone set a BMW on fire as the police were breaking up the sideshow.
It makes me feel like getting the hell out of Oakland. I'm trying to get out of here, unfortunately. I wish I could live right here comfortably, feel safe, but I don't.
It's one of several sideshows that happened in Oakland early Sunday morning. This one happened near Bishop O'Dowd High School. A driver hit a spectator and tossed him into the air. The spectator got up and ran to safety.
All night long, we're chasing around trying to deal with it. At one point, a police vehicle was damaged during that. There was also 2 gunshot victims that were struck in gunfire from the sideshow.
Oakland police say the 2 gunshot victims are in stable condition. And around 2:30 in the morning, a mob of roughly 50 people broke in and ransacked the Coliseum Shell gas station on Hagenberger Road. The gas station owner says the clerk, who was working alone, feared for his life.
He reached inside the restroom and he locked himself in the restroom and turn off the lights.
The station owner suspects these people were probably some of the same people who were doing the sideshows. Police are still investigating that. The owner says they took all the cash, cigarettes, scratchers, and most of the merchandise. The estimated damage around $50,000.
Really raises the questions, is Oakland is a third world country compared to those guys, because it's worse than them.
Because of a major budget deficit, the city is planning to cut police funding and cancel 2 academies. That would shrink the already understaffed police force down to 600 officers. They're not alone. All city departments will likely see significant cuts to prevent bankruptcy.
It's very difficult to police with the dwindling numbers. We have to figure out what calls we have to take care of first, which ones stand for 4 or 5 days. I've been to people's homes and I'm apologizing about taking 4 days to take the stolen vehicle report. It's embarrassing for me.
Deborah says residents and businesses are the ones getting hurt.
You've got to keep the policemen, keep the fire department, cut somewhere else.
Easier said than done. Police and fire make up 75% of the general purpose fund. Leaders will hold a special council meeting on Monday at City Hall to talk about what to cut. Residents are encouraged to attend.
All right, thank you, Don. Back in July, between 80 to 100 people ransacked the 76 gas station convenience store. This was at the corner of Hagenberger and Edgewater. The owner says, aside from merchandise being stolen, the thieves also got away with the cash register and ATM machine with about $22,000 inside.